Yeah, so we're just laughing because I have to start these episodes off by clapping and saying someone's name. And first thing Taylor said, I was like, oh, is that just something you need to do for your OCD? I was like, no. I don't need to clap and entrance myself into a room. Like, I am weird, but not that weird. Right, so we've obviously got Taylor in this morning, Taylor Hunter, so the owner and founder of One Wolf UK. She has actually come in matching trainers, socks, nails, which are a little bit broken from probably hitting a pool party a bit too hard a couple of days ago. But yeah, so I was wondering, Taylor's pretty confident, so I'll just let her run in and kind of introduce herself, who she is, and kind of what she does now as a starting point.
Okay, so my name is Tayla Hunter. Obviously, I'm the owner and founder of One Wolf UK, and I am an online bodybuilding coach, and I am also a competitive bikini athlete. So I have been in the online coaching industry for about 2 years, and it rolled off really, really quickly, and then I kind of lost myself in between, and then obviously I met you, and then you kind of managed to kind of make me find myself properly and be able to actually launch a proper business. So, yeah, I run for online competitive athletes and lifestyle athletes as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yeah, when Taylor, we spoke about this before, but I'll rip her again anyway.
Here we go,
yeah, when Taylor comes to me, she was like, "Yeah, I want to start with Transform Physics. What were it?
Transform coaching, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Transform. I was like, are you folk calling yourself Transform Coaching? I said, what's unique about that? I said, how can you relate to that in any way, shape, or form? She was like, yeah. So I don't want it to just be Transform Coaching. I want to be working with people who, like, I want to go guys, girls, CrossFit, bodybuilding, gymnastics, female lifestyle. She was like, so I was like, right. So the name I'm not too sure on, and you're trying to work with everybody under that. And that's somewhere where you can, even if you've got the best business concepts kind of in the world, you can skew with and go totally off in the wrong direction if if you've not actually got full belief in what you're doing with the brand and stuff onto that side. Like having a niche client is absolutely vital, right? So for example, we have a niche client for level 2 and level 3. We have a niche client for the academy. I have a niche client for business consultancy. Even for example with this Kybercan right here, like there's a niche kind of person who will want this, and you have to focus kind of all your media and marketing at kind of that. So we got to the point where obviously I've got two huskies, and Taylor's, what is it, Akita?
Japanese Akita, yeah.
Yeah, Taylor's got a Japanese Akita. So I was like, right, so we've got this wolf thing going on here, and I was just like, right, we're gonna name it something after a wolf. And obviously Taylor not even thought about doing that, and we kind of come to this conclusion that we're going to call it One Wolf UK. And then even at that point there, we were still, it was always kind of focusing on kind of lifestyle and everything else onto that side. But as the company's kind of developed, I was like, look, this needs to be really heavily just focused on kind of female coaching, because what you've got is you've got this concept where like you've got a load of female wolves all coming together, all fighting for each other. And that's kind of the direction that we've gone in, where it's like, look, when you've got this culture formation, and I'm absolutely obsessed with culture. I don't care what company it is, you have to have good culture within a company for it to grow. That's not just within like your own team, but your client base and stuff like that, stuff on that side. So what would you say that the top 3, I'm gonna challenge you here, your top 3 kind of culture pillar points are for One Wolf UK?
So first of all, obviously that you don't have to be a lone wolf, and that was obviously the reason that we came up with the concept of One Wolf UK, because I've always kind of felt like I've been on my own in this whole bodybuilding journey. Oh my God, I'm like
Come on.
and I've always felt that I was on my own, and I didn't have anybody to back me up, and I didn't want my clients to ever feel like that. And so that was obviously the first one, is you don't have to be alone, you don't have to do it on your own. You've got like the power of a pack behind you. Why am I getting upset?
Come on.
And then obviously you can be super savage, but you have to be sweet at the same time. Like, yeah, we go for goals, but we're humble in the process. And every single time, don't act like a dickhead. And whenever you win your shows, when you get the life that you want, be humble in that process. And lastly, just have that winning mentality. Doesn't matter who gets you down and what gets you down. Like, drive forward with the mindset that you are a winner, but always be humble in that process, because nobody appreciates a dickhead. And being a bad bitch doesn't mean that you have a bad attitude, it just makes you an arsehole. So be humble in that process, have a winning mentality, and you don't have to be a lone wolf.
No, right. So as you can see there, Taylor's getting upset by it. Right. So as I've kind of said, the importance of actually having meaning to your brand and your company. Like if you've not got an emotional investment into what you are doing, what are you doing? Right. It's if you do not care about the client that you're working with or kind of direction that you're going, you're not going to have that drive, because there's only so far where kind of like, look, yeah, if you've got a good turnover and good stuff like that. I've worked with coaches who are earning a shitload of money, but they've just got no belief in their actual brand. They've got no belief in themselves. And it's a case of how long is that going to last until things start going sideways? So, like when I first, me and Taylor obviously got quite close quickly, like both Council House massives. And I kind of like, obviously I've got to kind of where I am in life and from a very sort of similar kind of position to where Taylor was. And I said, like, look, I said, there's so many people out there like kind of like this who need more support than just a diet and training program. And it's like, look, if you've got this community and this culture of the females, and the thing is, I basically pushed Taylor saved my relationship because I finally got to stop coaching Stacey, so she will knock me out. So Taylor coaches Stacey now, and the first thing she said, she was like, the group chat, for example, it's active and it's alive. And the only reason that kind of group chat is active and alive is because there's meaning behind kind of what everyone is doing. Everyone feels like they're part of something. It's exclusive and inclusive kind of at the same time. And once you've basically got to a point of kind of where Taylor is now, like you'll often find that kind of the community of the females will build out the company because everyone's happy, everyone's engaged, your referrals will kind of pick up, retention's going to be high because people aren't just getting a diet and program sent to them once per week. They're part of something. So for example, like Taylor would have been a little fan here right now crying. Like it's a case of yes, it's like it's one of them ones where like, look, if there's other girls who coming in and feeling the same, like they've got that support network, they've got that point where they can show emotion. And as we kind of said, one thing that resonated with me with Taylor once was one of the main. I always said to her, I said, like, look, we need to find out what the kind of main pillar points are for this. And the top one, what kind of come out was being savage and sweet at the same time. So do you want to you explain what that means?
So I think that you have to be obviously savage in regards to what you want in life regardless, and you have to be very, very independent to get to where you want to be. You can't continuously rely on people, so you have to be savage in your own goals. But I think it's very, very important that once you do make it to the top or on your way to the top, that you still have to be very, very sweet and be very humbled and grateful in regards to how you've managed to get there. Like nobody, at the end of the day, like we both know that people buy from people invest into people, and would I ever be an arse thinking that I've made it to the top? No, it's not about that. It's about being grateful and being humble from where you came from, regardless of your background, regardless of how hard you've had to graft. Like, be super, super sweet in that process, and even once you still want to continue to develop, still continue to be sweet in that process, but obviously be savage in what you want in life, because nobody's going to get it for you. But
yeah, I get that. So it's like something. Like I'm as a person, I'm very, very cutthroat, and people know that. But I'm also the person who will do anything for anyone, and it's a case of like I think that's why I resonated with the whole savage but sweet concept behind kind of One Wolf UK, because like, look, I will go out my way to kind of help anyone, no matter what. But I will also go through anyone who gets in the way, and that's kind of the concept of it. Like, look, there's going to be certain points, whether it's life, where it's, for example, either you're giving you shit, or someone else is giving you shit, or life's giving you shit, or business is giving you shit, and you've got to have that savage mindset to think, right, look, I don't care. I'm going to work through it. I'm going to work through you. I'm going to work through that. I'm going to work forwards. But no matter how far you get up in the journey, you always kind of remember that concept of being sweet. You've got to like just kind of show gratitude. You've got to show people that you care. You've just generally just got to be a nice person and not a dickhead. Yeah. So in terms of where you are moving forward now with the company, what's the next phase? Because we've had this is the same as anything. Like things kicked off really, really, really well. I've had quite a lot of coaches in the last 6 weeks where, like, for example, things slow down a little bit. But obviously, when you're kind of out of routine, like Taylor's been traveling here, there, and everywhere, it's hard to kind of stay up on top of that side. But we're putting a kind of new growth phase plan in place. You've got a new coach coming on board. So do you want to just talk about kind of what we're going to do now? When she's actually going to stay in England for more than 2 weeks when she gets back.
Scotland.
Oh yeah, Scotland. Sorry.
Scotland. So yeah, we had a couple of bumps in the road to get to where we wanted to be right now. We tried a coach and it never worked out. But now we've both got the understanding that it's going to be a female wolf pack. So the next phase for us is to bring on a new coach, for a lifestyle coach, and it will be my PCA Pro athlete, Claire Murphy, and she is everything that I need in my brand and that I want in my brand. She is a massive, massive representation of One Wolf UK. Why am I getting so upset every single time I'm talking about this? What is going on? She's a massive representation of my brand, and I want to drive forward with absolute global domination. So going forward, realistically, we want to continue to bring on more coaches because I can't do it all on my own, and I have been run pillar to post, going to shows and travelling and doing all the work on my own, and I feel like now it's okay to get that help, that I've reached that point.
Yeah, there's a point that, like, one thing, there's two different ways to look at it, right? So you should never, ever expand a coaching team before the company is actually ready to do it, because at the end of the day, you need to max out your own income before kind of looking to pay someone else. But there are pros and cons to it, because like the pros are, if you bring someone onto your team, that's two people pushing the message. That's two people who can be building resources. That's two people who can focus on lead generation. And then also you've got kind of more exposure and stuff onto that side. But you can't come in and just hire anyone. For example, like I said, we as we've kind of worked through the company, we've really obviously now said, like, look, it's only going to be females, only female coaches. But it's like, even when we went through the first process, there was kind of a hiring process there. But it's just like, what's the best advice that you could kind of give to someone who's going to be looking in and kind of looking to take on a coach from your experience, seeing kind of how it can go right and how it can go wrong?
I think it's important to understand that you need to have somebody who cares about coaching as much as you care about it. It doesn't matter if they've only got 4 clients, if they've got 20 clients, 100 clients previously, as long as they're passionate about that job and you can trust them. Like, realistically, you need to find somebody who you can put trust in and you can have a friendship with and who's going to help build your brand with you. Because there is no point in just getting somebody who is a popular person to jump onto your brand, because that doesn't mean that they're going to be the best for your business. Yeah,
it's especially when it comes to niche style coaching areas, like your referral system is so important. Like, you can't come in and just choose anyone. I know this it's really bad. What do they look like? What do they act like? Do they represent kind of the type of coach that like your current like leads will want to work with? I was said, like, I had a call with someone the other day who was looking to expand the coaching team, and they basically sent me the profile, and I said, this person does not look anything like you. They don't act like you. They don't talk like you. I said, so when people come in and you've maxed out your own kind of income, how are you going to pass them onto someone else if there's not a kind of clear referral kind of system in place? Because people aren't going to trust that person. All right, for example, it's like with Tayla and a new coach. She's obviously PCA Pro. She's in incredible shape. She's kind of been coaching herself for a while. So when it comes to that, look, yeah, I'm not taking clients anymore, but so-and-so is available, people aren't going to mind that kind of jump over. But if you just got some random coach, because I have basically a lot of kind of people come to me and go, right, yeah, I'm gonna get like a low performance coach because they can take a better percentage referral and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, but you're not even going to get to that point of building out a referral if people don't see the value in them. So like, when it comes to you expanding your coaching team, you got to think about, right, Sam, who are they? What type of results have they got before? How do they interact with you? Are they actually willing to kind of come in and do work? Are they willing to come in and represent the brand? Because that's something that a lot of coaches will kind of have when they look to expand their coaching team, right? You have to own everything within the company. Like, you can't have a coach coming in and on one channel on social media or whatever, they're using their own kind of coaching logo, and then like just on the stuff they're just using the company's like. Don't work like that. It gets confusing. Like, if someone comes in and joins your company and joins your brand, it has to be all in.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think as well, it's important to have somebody on board that you can trust 110%. At the end of the day, your business is your baby. And if you've built that shit from the ground up, you want to protect it as well. And having somebody there that you trust wholeheartedly that will help protect your brand as well, then I think that's really important. Well, it's important to me anyway.
Yeah, so it's like, as we kind of spoke about, with Taylor's obviously physique competitor, obviously serious with business, but she also likes to party as well. But the thing is, I love that because I think I think that a lot of people in the fitness industry and stuff like that, it's a case of it's like, right, they have to be all in. They can't have fun, you can't have enjoyment. Like, what would you say that your mindset is towards kind of work-life balance, social events, and a bit of partying?
So I think I've done a reel on this before, but I think if you're going to do anything, do it right.
Yeah.
Do it right, right? Do it right. So in the off season, I have a little bit more flexibility. So I'm going to go out with the girls. I'm going to enjoy myself. In prep, I'm going to prep right, and I'm going to prep to win a show. When I'm coaching, I do it right. So realistically, regardless of the situations or the experiences that you're in, go 110% hell for leather in every single experience, because you only get one life and it's here to be lived and to be loved. And I am not going to lose my personality in the process of coaching, in the process of business or being an athlete. I am Tayla and I am wild at heart, and I always will be. So have that balance in off season, go for it. Put your clients first, have that balance in off season. And when you're on a prep, go hell for leather and do it with the intent to win shows, but don't half-arse any experience, because life is to be loved and to be lived, Ben.
Yeah, no, well, I have a common saying where I always say, like, do it right. Taylor can't say right. She goes, right.
Do it right.
But yeah, that's a massive philosophy for me. Like, the do it right, it's obviously a common way of saying it, but it's something that I truly believe in. Like, look, if you're going to come in and do something, just make sure it's done properly, because what happens is, if you come in and half-arse something and you get put off that half-arse effort, you're going to get a half-arsed outcome, and you might as well have not even done it in the first place. Like, there's going to be points where you come in and you come up with ideas, and even when you do it right, it still might not go right. Like, that's just kind of what happens with life. You have to just think about coming in and going better. How can you come in and learn as much as possible from kind of the things that haven't gone well, or even, for example, something does go right? How can you come in and make it better? Like, it's a mindset. It's like Josh. I really love Bridgman's kind of 1M arc. It's like one more rep type thing, and that's kind of it's my kind of way is this, like, kind of do it right. It's because at the end of the day, what is the point in doing it? And I think I listened to a podcast the other day. It's like, what's the point? And it sounds daft, but what is the actual point? It's like I have so many people who come to me and, like, with coaching company problems. I'm like, but what's the point? What you're actually trying to prove? What you're trying to actually gain? Because it's almost like your reason why, but it's just like, look, what is the actual point? Where are you wanting to get to? Where are you right now? Like, what's your actual belief and meaning behind what you're kind of doing? So it's just like, that's what Taylor didn't have before. She didn't know what a point was.
No, I definitely didn't, and I was a bit lost. Like, I felt like I was continuously running pillar to post, trying to grow my business without any pillars in place. Like, I feel like that I wasted so much time. It was like half the effort, double the time, if that makes sense. Although I was putting the effort in, the actual, like, the passion, the effort was there, but the systems in place weren't in there. The branding wasn't right. I felt lost in my business, and now I'm like, cool, we're in an efficient and an optimal place. Like, let's drive forward. But I didn't have that foundation and that baseline to build upon, if that makes sense. No,
definitely not. It's like the more that you get into it, the more that you kind of learn. That's one thing that I've definitely found with business. I'm at a point now where I've had so many experiences, both good and bad, in business, where, like, I'm not scared, basically. I used to be kind of scared of thinking, right, something's not going to go right, or, for example, I might lose a bit of money on that, or this or that. Whereas what I've just kind of found over the last few years is like, look, everything that you do, you're going to learn something from. Like, even the fucking worst stuff, what happens, you will learn something. Whether it's how you dealt with the situation, it's having a clear kind of message to going, right, yeah, that's not the direction I want to be going in. And it's a case of, like, when it comes to any type of, like, business and personal progression, it's like, look, don't be scared by it. Don't be scared by change. Don't be scared about kind of coming in and going a totally different direction to what Taylor did. Because, like I said, you're going to come to a point down the line, like I said, going back to that same thing, what's the point? you're going to come to that and go, right, if you are in a great place, you've got job satisfaction, if you are you've got all that kind of stuff in line with what is the point of what you're doing, you are going to have a much, much, much kind of bare financial income. Yep. And that's going to come as a byproduct without you actually coming in having to force it. Like, for example, Tayla could have 100% come in before and gone, right, yeah, we're going to get transform coaching going. We're going to smash as much fucking outreach as possible. We're going to nail it. And all what would have happened is, down the line of what's the point, she'd been working with a shitload of people that she didn't actually want to be working with. Yep. She'll probably been still charging kind of low ticket compared to what she was doing now. But it's because of what's the point, what's the direction and where she's going. It's like right now, Taylor's working with exact type of females that she wants to work with. She's charging about 50 or 60, well, I think about £75 more a month than what you're doing when you first kind of started. She's now in a position where she's building a referral, but that she's only got to this point now because she set herself off in the right direction in the first place.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I just think that now I've got like a premium brand. I know exactly who I am. I know what my girls stand for. I know who I stand for. And it just makes it so much more special for my clients as well. Like, I don't think that when I came to you, I never ever mentioned like money once. Money, I don't think we've even ever had the conversation about I want to make X amount of money, because it's not about that for me. And I just wanted to build a brand that I was proud of and change women's lives in the process, which I think that we've nailed so far. And I've never ever had the conversation being like, right, okay, I want to earn X amount, because to be honest with you, I love my job so much. Like, I would literally do this job. If I didn't get paid, I would still do it, because I'm just so passionate about my brand, my girls, my ethos, and the fact that I get to change women's lives on the daily. Like, that to me is like a money anyway. Like, that to me is why I do this.
Yeah, it's the case. Like, you've got to this. I've just had the same conversation with Mark a minute ago, but like, finance always needs to be important, but it doesn't need to be the forefront of why you do what you do. It's like Tayla has this model now, and what's created, which is increased financial income. It's done what she needs to do. She's charging more. She's got more time. She's got everything else now, but it's the fact that she's now got in the frame. She's got the framework. She's got the culture. She's got the systems, and she's got obviously the next overall strategy with us, where she can replicate this from 1 to 10. And nothing's going to change. Yep. Because if you've not got the strength of that brand and strength of the message at the start of the company, when it becomes 10 times bigger, there's going to be a fucking shitload of problems that's going to come. Yep. And I've done it myself, where, for example, I've rushed into something and I've not thought about it, and down the line, things have started coming and tripping me back up. So like, when you're looking at kind of your business and stuff now, like, that's why I always have this thing where I call I have the 10 commandments. I kind of like to call it, like, you've obviously got your vision, you've got your mission statement, you've all got stuff like that, but it's just one fucking line. Like, you can't really do much with just one line. Yeah, well, that's the point in where you're going, but there needs to be more kind of bulk to what you are doing. So, for example, like when I kind of talked with Tayla, I was like, right, what the main 10, I think we actually come up with about 20 in the end, in all fairness. I said, what the main 10 things that you stand by for this company, what the main 10 things that your clients do and your audience will know about this. And once you've got that out there, everyone's on the same tone. But what happens with coaching companies is they just turn around and just start smashing social media and doing this and wondering why they're not getting clients in. It's because they're not getting leads in, because nobody actually understands what the company is. They don't understand what the company does and what it's about. So it's like one of the best places that you can start is going like, well, what are the 10 culture pillar points to why we are doing what we're doing? Because once you've got that, you'll figure out your niche, you'll know your coaching offer, you'll know exactly kind of what direction you are going with trying to actually scale the client base. Yeah.
And I think what you taught me as well is you need to think of the end goal and then work back the way, which is something that I didn't do. I was just kind of dipping in and out thinking, right, what's the next plan without a strategy. So, like, I know what the end goal is, and then now all we're doing is just working back the way.
Yeah, so I say it all the time. It's like, if you don't work back from a goal, and let's just say you've got 10 steps in front of you, if you trip up at step 3 and you've not planned out 4 to 10, you don't know what direction you're going in. But if you've got 10 steps in front of you and you've planned backwards, even if you do trip up at 3, you know where 6, 7, and 8 are because you've already planned it. Yep. And it's a really easy analogy to kind of explain and understand. But because I've a lot of people come to me and go, right, I want to achieve this, and I said, right, sound well. Put yourself in that position now. What do you need? It's like, what are you missing in order to get to that point? Rather than just going, right, I'm just going to focus on what I'm doing right now and plow through. It's like, right, look, if you want to get to step 10, what do all those other little bits kind of look like? So, for example, like with me, I was like, right, I want to kind of come in and obviously with the education platform, with business consultancy, I actually started the coach convention because I knew that it was a necessary step for me, because I have only got 7,000 followers. I am only 28. I'm not, again, the guys who I'm kind of working against now, they're 15 years older than me. Do you know what I mean? It's a case of, I knew that in order for me to get to step 10, step 8 was something massive.
Yep.
And that's what you kind of need to think about, just thinking outside the box. Like, I think when it comes to online coaching, people think about things so one-dimensionally. Like, there's only so far you're going to kind of get with that. And it's almost like when people come into it, they don't treat it like it's a real business. Like, for example, have you had your marketing strategy call with Hannah yet?
Yes. Well, no, just a catch-up kind of call.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for example, like, Hannah's as someone we just, we've hired, obviously, for the marketing strategist for that. And I was like, right, we're going to create a kind of standard online coaching kind of customer template and journey. And when people look at it, they go, fucking hell, I've never seen anything like that before.
Honestly, see, after all the calls, my mind was blown. I was like, I already thought that we were like maxing out all opportunities. And then you come in with all this, like, boom, boom, we're doing this. And I'm like, whoa, right, okay. Like, I need to get back home and just like sit down and just write down shit. Yeah,
because people just think Instagram, payment, client.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's only going to get you so, that's really only going to get you so far. Like, there's a certain, I always basically just, the easiest way to I describe it, because it blew my head off when she started talking from that side, but you've obviously got a pipeline and then you've got a customer journey touch points. And let's just say that you've got this pipe from one end of the table to the other end. If you've not got a solidified pipe, then you've got people who've got absolutely no awareness to a point of conversion. If you've just not got any processes in place or like certain content strategies or touch points, then what's going to happen is people are going to see a lot of awareness on Instagram, but as soon as they come into this pipe, they're going to go out these holes. So you might have 100 people coming on the first part of this pipe, but when it comes to that point of conversion, you've only converted 10.
Yep.
And the reason for that is because you've got fucking shitloads of holes in your pipe what need fixing.
Yep.
And it's a case of until you see that, because every company is different. So in terms of kind of content strategy, in terms of approaches, like even, for example, the location that you are in and stuff like that, it all needs to be kind of brought into this overall journey, which is what we're basically building for One Wolf K now. But so in terms of, let's talk about, so when are you looking to compete?
So I'm doing a silent prep. So I will just be stepping on stage and just showing up at a show, but the intention is next year.
So what's a silent prep?
Like, just not tell anybody. I'm not telling anybody I'm doing it. I just want to do it, like, just behind the scenes, just work in silence, and then just show up at a show.
Are you about to do that? I reckon
Yeah.
this. I think it's gonna get to a point where she's gonna look absolutely wham and be like, "Yeah, I'm sticking a picture up now."
Yeah, I probably will, but that's the intention anyway, is a silent prep, because I just want to focus 110% on my business. And I think when you start announcing that you're doing a prep, this and that, there's so much more added pressure onto you on top of that, because people are always asking what's happening, how's it going. In mass focus, my clients come first and my business comes first before my competing does. So in my opinion, for me to be in an optimal place with my business, I need to do a silent prep, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you know what? I have so many people who come to me going, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a bodybuilding competition to improve my business." And I'm like, "What?"
No.
I said, "No, that's a fucking total." I've seen people totally. So I've done it myself, like literally years and years and years ago. I was like, right, yeah, I'm gonna do a photo shoot. I think I must have done 2 comps, 4 or 5 photo shoots in the space of 6 months. Put myself into an absolute hole, and didn't actually benefit my business. It benefited it afterwards, months down the line, when I had loads of sick content. But for that period in which I was kind of driving myself into the ground to get into shape, I wasn't taking clients. I weren't being a good coach. Like, there's a lot more to this game than just being in shape as a coach. Like, especially in this kind of day and age now. Like look, I'm not going to turn around and say that not being in shape is not good, because it will, without question, improve your engagement on social media. It will improve stuff on that side, but there's a point if you can take it too far.
Yep.
Yeah, and I honestly, I've worked with hundreds of coaches now. Like, I genuinely think that when your kind of audience knows that you are in the absolute dog end of a prep, they're not going to invest into you.
Yeah, I totally agree. And people think that, oh, like, she's on a prep, she's not going to give it 110%, which is completely the wrong attitude to have at times. But I do understand why people do think that. But I just don't want to make my clients feel that I'm putting myself first, and I'm not putting my business first, because my business and my clients are my bread and butter. They are my baby, and they will come first always, regardless of how many times I want to compete. Like, I don't have to compete to run a successful business. I've done the competing, but I do this because I do the competing because I love that side. But I don't have to do it to make a noise about myself. So I'm like, silent prep, get it done, and focus on your clients and your business, and that's it.
Yeah, 100%. And it's, to be fair, now Tayla, I obviously have a coach and stuff as well, and the stuff that we've got in place, like, there's going to be extra support for her clients and stuff like that. And it's like, if you've got a low client base of like 20, 30 people, and you're like, right, yeah, I want to increase to 60, 70, 80, and you think that putting yourself onto a fucking really harsh diet is going to do that, then you're gonna quickly kind of have a downfall straight away. But so obviously so we've gone over One Wolf UK, we've gone over kind of what you're doing with competitions and stuff like that. What about you personally? Have you personally got anything lined up, or things that you want to be focusing on kind of going to this next phase?
Personal, to be honest, I've had a bit of a wild time over the last 6 weeks. So I was obviously in America, and then I'm in Dubai now. But honestly, I don't have any personal goals right now over the next sort of before the end of the year, because I am just really, really excited to run with One Wolf UK. So I am all business now for the next until December at least, and then I might take a little bit of time off next year. But personally, I just want to be able to spend more time with my niece and nephew, because I realised when I was in Florida with them that I have not spent enough time with them, because I was so focused on my business and I was ran pillar to post, and I didn't have the systems in place. So I just want to spend more time with my family and be able to have that little bit more downtime now that I've got the availability to do so. So yeah, just family time for me.
And it comes straight back to what's the point? Everything always comes back to that same thing. So for example, like, it's like me, I do what I do so I can give my mates experiences like this. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Like, I don't care what something costs if I can kind of see that kind of happiness and opportunity and stuff like that. And it's everything is the same, whether it's your personal goals or it's your professional goals. It all comes down to what is the point? What is the point of you doing this right now? And that's kind of what we've now got with Tayla. And it's a case of going, right, so the next phase for us is going to be kind of coming in and replicating what she's doing on a much, much larger scale. But in order to do that, this is why I've obviously got the full team in now. So we're basically putting the overall marketing strategy in place. We'll have George on automations, building the framework from A to B so it can actually scale. I've got Amy and Carl Moss who are going to be coming on the social media side. I've got Beth on the team. And this is, again, coming back to what's the point of the coach consultant is I want to basically have a framework which can build, manage, and scale coaching companies, like even to the point of all your copywriting is included. Like Tayla's obviously been with me quite a while, and she's seen me go from just kind of working with myself one-to-one with companies to kind of now we've got a 7-man kind of team on it. And is that the whole point is like, look, I could manage so much myself, yeah, don't get me wrong, but nowhere on this scale right now. And it's like, I know that every single person who's in my consultancy team is elite in their area compared to what I would be coming and doing it like at what my kind of potential is. And that's the kind of hands that Tayla's going to be in now moving forwards. But have you got anything final that you want to add?
Just that I'm very, very grateful to be in the situation I am right now. And I was literally in my balcony there where I came over, and I thought, fucking hell, I'm in Dubai going on a podcast with Ben, and I'm just very, very grateful for the support and the team that I have around me, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would still be transform coaching, fucking coaching CrossFitters, fucking hating my job. But now I'm in a situation where I'm very, very excited for my future and for the future of One Wolf UK, and I could not have done it without the support of you guys. So yeah, thanks for the opportunities, and that's the last nice thing I'll say about you, Ben.
As soon as I get off podcast, she'll be back swearing at me again anyway, or making jokes of me clapping to exit. But yeah, Tayla Hunter, One Wolf UK. She'll probably be going to another pool party after this now.
Oh, so. I am, and I really can't be bothered. But I mean, we move, don't we?
Right. Over now.